So it's Monday. That means it's Q&A time here on OTR Essential. And let me give a little refresher because I think I've kind of just taken it for granted that everybody knows. But for those of you that don't, now here is your chance to be educated. I do these Q&As every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday here on OTR Essential as much as I possibly can on a weekly basis. The Monday and Wednesday Q&As are based entirely off of Twitter questions. So you go to @OTR Essential on Twitter and tweet me your wrestling or sometimes even non-wrestling related questions if you so desire, and use the hashtag OTR Essential. Then Friday, for those of you that don't have Twitter or want other questions answered, you go to the OTR Essential Facebook page, which I'll put the link in that description box so that we can give that page a like. I will post a status, usually Thursday night, ends up being Friday morning typically, asking you for your questions, and you can post your questions in response to that status, and that's the Facebook Friday Q&A. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday Q&As here on OTR Essential. Not a lot of Twitter questions, honestly, for this Monday edition of the Q&A, and I think that's just because I forgot to tell you guys to post the questions, submit the questions. So I need to get better about doing this because I do like doing these Q&As. So let's get started with today's edition. Ahmed LW asks, do you see yourself as a Roman Reigns fan in any time in 2015? Well, who says I'm not a Roman Reigns fan already? Who says I'm not a Roman Reigns fan now? Granted, Summer is the Roman Reigns fan when it comes to OTR Essential, but I'm a Roman Reigns fan. I like Roman Reigns. I mean, I'm not going out of my way to say, oh my God, Roman Reigns is the second coming of Jesus Christ, I don't think. And I don't think I'm sitting there saying that he is going to be the biggest thing of the next generation. I like certain aspects of him. I'm still not fully certain, though, whether he is a big-time star or not for the future. Haven't fully made my mind up yet. I'm not sure if he's that type of guy or if he's a Diesel type or if he's a Test type. I haven't fully decided, but there are things to like about Roman Reigns. I mean, he's got an intense way about him. He's got a decent look. And he's not white, so three things that I would prefer definitely out of a main eventer in the WWE going forward. And he's not smaller compared to some of the other guys. I mean, he's a bigger dude, and they need some bigger dudes in the scene, but, he's still got a ways to go. He's still somewhat green, and he's still got some work to do to get better, especially when it comes to the old stick work. But I like Roman Reigns, man. At this point in time, is he my favorite? No. But in terms of guys that I get excited about their futures, he's right at the top of the list. Chris is nice. Which year was more boring in the WWE? 2005, 2006, or 2007? At least with 2005, you had the Batista and Cena eras kind of beginning. You had Edge as the Money in the Bank winner. So I think out of those three, that was by far the least boring year. Then it comes down to 06 or 07. I kind of got to go with 2006. I just thought that was a boring-ass, bad year for WWE. Jimmy let's try this again. Jimmy Villasenor. Hope I got that right. If not, oh well. How would you book Paige this year? Kind of standard operating procedure. I'd actually put her on TV. That'd be a good place to start. And then when it comes to Paige, I would actually try to make her the anti-diva and not just like every other fucking diva. I would probably at some point in time give her the title and give her a lengthy run with that title, feature her every week on television, feature her in things besides just random thrown together matches every week to advance zero story. I'd actually attempt to give her character purpose, attempt to develop her character, attempt to give her story, attempt to give her stories to be involved with. Now, I want to make this distinction, too, really quickly, since you asked about Paige. If you guys ever notice, and I think this is something, not to toot my own horn here, but this is personally something I don't think I get enough credit for. It's that I could differentiate between talents that I like and those that I don't, and still be able to book effectively or imagine and envision things effectively for them. I'm not a Paige fan. I don't dig her look. I don't really like her all that much. But that still wouldn't prevent me from trying to book her as a star in 2015. That still doesn't mean I wouldn't try to do everything that I possibly could to try and get her over, because that would be the hand I'm dealt in terms of the talent. Why would I not do everything to try and make that young lady as much of a success as humanly possible? I see so often when I see people talking about their booking of this and that, they fall into this type of category where they will only book this type of individual or that type of individual, whatever type of individual that may be. And I just think that's completely and totally ridiculous. Like on the men's side of things, why would I not want to envision good booking for the year of 2015 for a Seth Rollins or a Daniel Bryan like I would maybe for a Bray Wyatt or a Roman Reigns or a Cesaro, let's say? Why would I not want to book all of those guys well? Why would I not want to do something to make all of them stars as much as I possibly could? Why would I not want as many different types of top stars as possible? It's the same thing with CM Punk. I was never a big CM Punk guy, but best damn believe you and me, I think most of you would rather have had me try to figure out a way to book that Summer of Punk in 2011 than the bullshit you got in WWE, because I can assure you and guarantee you that I would have made it well known that CM Punk was the man and CM Punk was going to be the guy that you needed to pay attention to, and I was going to make him the biggest star in the company. I don't have to be a fan of the guy to sit there and understand what might be good for the business at the time. That's why I don't understand about the WWE, why they sit there and they will fall in love with certain people and absolutely hate other people. If you have them on your roster at some point in time, you would think you would have liked them enough to at least give them an opportunity and a shot. Why would you not do everything you fucking could to try and make a star out of them? Do something with them. That's what I don't get about the WWE. That's what I don't get when I see fans talking about it. It'll be like, yeah, I'd push all the monsters, the big guys, fuck the shrimps, or these guys. I'd book all the independent guys and fuck all the monsters. Well, you're all idiots. Variety is the spice of life, and when wrestling has been at its best in the past is when there's been something for everyone. And there needs to be something for everyone. Narrow-minded, short-sighted vision of who should be booked is ridiculous and stupid. I don't care if it comes from indie fans. I don't care if it comes from the muscle marks. I don't care if it comes from the fucking WWE. Just wanted to throw that out there for a minute. Anyways, moving on. Darkest Night 95. What are your thoughts on that Cowboys-Lions game? Not saying Detroit played good, but that flag pickup, Well, if you want my thoughts on that game and the Cowboys conspiracy, you'll actually have to go to my football and sports channel, Schleg Daddy TV, here on YouTube to find out. That's how you plug another channel, people. And that's where you're going to have to go. Hater_Lord, who have you pawned the most, be it single person or group of people in your life, and what was it about? I guess arrogantly, I can say a lot of different things. I pawn people all the time, poon people all the time, own people all the time. You know, and whether that's true or not, I guess is up to interpretation. I think two categories that definitely fit, or two areas where I have definitely pooned people at great lengths over the years. Ironically enough, both tie into my beloved Chicago Bears. That was Rex Grossman and it was Jay Cutler. Two players at the same position, basically back to back. I've told Bears fans for years, Rex Grossman was a turd. Rex Grossman sucks. You're not going to win anything that matters with Rex Grossman doing anything for you as a starting quarterback in the National Football League. And it took the Bears losing Super Bowl 41 for these fucking numbskulls to figure this shit out. Now, Rex Grossman sucked. And then people were still trying to defend this asshat. I had people telling me all throughout 2006 as I'm saying, this is a good Bears team that's not going to win the Super Bowl because Rex Grossman sucks. And then what happened? And then Jay Cutler. Christ almighty. We know most of you, at least that care to pay attention to that crap, know what I've said about Cutler over the past few years, and all of it's been true. And all of it has proven me to be indisputably right. There is no argument you can give me that counters me in my beliefs and views on Jay Cutler because I've been proven right. All the Bears media and Bears fans in 2014 that thought that team was going to be something and thought they were going to be a playoff team. And I said this team would be lucky to win 6 games. Just because you change the names doesn't mean you got better. I owned every fucking buddy on that. I was trying to tell everybody that for fucking months. So there's would be some examples there, and they all tie into the Chicago Bears. How about that? _guest 5. Who's the better tag team champion? Kane, Daniel Bryan, or The Miz? Kane with Daniel Bryan, Team Hell No was really damn good, but I'll actually go with The Miz. He's had some quality time as a tag team champion. I think he makes for a really good tag team champion. So I got to go with The Miz, honestly. I really do. Mr. Tuxedo, does the relative unpredictability of this year's Rumble winner give you a reason for at least some interest? Good question. No, but that's a very good question. Because that is the one thing we can say about this 2015 Royal Rumble winner. We might have our belief in who's going to win. We might think we know who the WWE is going to have win. But this is probably one of the least predictable years that I can remember in some time. There is no clear-cut better than the rest option. There is no clear-cut golden choice. We don't know. We really don't. We think we know, but we don't know. So, in theory, that might make it more interesting for certain individuals not knowing what's coming at a time where wrestling seems to be incredibly scripted and incredibly predictable and structured. You know, having that kind of spontaneity and unpredictability would seem to be a good thing. It's not necessarily ramping up my interest in it, though. I will say that I am very curious to see what WWE does come that time and on the road to WrestleMania and then WrestleMania 31 itself. Gator Nation _02, your thoughts on the unfortunate passing of Stuart Scott? Very sad, very tragic. I mean, here's a guy, first and foremost, is a father to 2 young girls, and those girls will never have their dad around again. He wasn't even 50 years old. He was 49 when he passed away. So you're talking about girls that, you know, someday graduate high school, graduate maybe college, maybe get married, maybe have families, and their dad won't be there for any of that. How sad and unfortunate that truly is. Here's a man who bravely battled cancer for many years, was a real testament and profile in courage and the human spirit. Here is a guy from a sports standpoint that was a game changer. When people are talking about this, this is not just that type of revisionist crap history that we say about somebody once they die. It's legitimate. It's true. Stuart Scott was a game changer. He brought a different way of presenting sports to the sports world. You know, he brought that type of barbershop talk to the mainstream. Stuart Scott was a crossover star. He truly was. He was a trailblazer for a generation and generations to come. His impact on so many different levels, from a presentation aspect, from a diversity perspective, a racial perspective, if you will, the way that he covered sports. I mean, he was truly a game changer. And the business will feel his impact for many years, but will always truly miss him. And, you know, for me, for Stuart Scott, he was a guy that, as a younger kid, I really, really liked. And then as I got a little older and a little bit more jaded, I was kind of like, yeah, he's kind of a representation in some ways of the problems of ESPN and the evils and bad of ESPN. And even though he's passed away, I'm still going to stand by that. However, I cannot deny the man's impact. And I cannot deny the fact that when I saw Stuart Scott, it felt like SportsCenter. It felt like something important. It felt like something that was a big deal. This man had a significant impact, taught people like me that it's okay to be who you are regardless of what you're doing or where you're from. You know, and he also taught us a great way to conduct ourselves as we're facing our biggest challenges. And I just think it's an incredible shame as everybody's overflowing and pouring out their sympathies that we're not focusing on the real problem here, which is the fact that a man that wasn't even 50 years of age lost his battle with cancer. In this country, we devote as much money to fighting cancer directly as we do just funding Israel. That makes no fucking sense. In this country, we devote many, many times over the amount of money that we do to cancer research to fighting wars and maintaining an empire. You know, and fighting terrorism. How many of you honestly actually know somebody that was killed by terrorism, or even know somebody who knows somebody that was, or know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody, or knows somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that was killed or affected directly by terrorism? I guarantee you, though, each and every single one of you have either directly or indirectly been affected by cancer at some point in time. And if you haven't individually with somebody you know somebody that does know somebody that was. And yet we spend so much more money on wars and all this other crap